Good morning, good morning. It's your girl Janine with Symphony Reads. Please visit us www.symphonyreads.com. On Facebook at Symphony Reads. On Twitter at Reads Symphony. Email symphonyreads@gmail.com. And you can give us a call 240-681-9275. I will not be before you long. Today I just wanted to go over one thing that's been on my mind. And it's probably because we've been learning about money and finances in church. And so, but this is an aspect of it that it's been on my mind. And before I do that, I want to, if you ever see my van, I have a Dodge Caravan out, and I have the Symphony Reads sign on both sides of my doors. If you ever see it, please say hi. Say, you're the Symphony Reads girl. Say hi. Yesterday was a blessing. Someone looked at the sign, and they knocked on my window, and I was a little startled because it was dark, but you know, she asked me about the sign, and I just thought that was so awesome, and I was very much honored, you know, that she took the time to read it and wanted to find out more about it. So to answer one question that she did give, and I pray and hope that she sees this, and I thought it was a good question. This site is for everyone. It's not a woman's site, a man's site, a boy's site, a girl's site. We have programs that are dedicated sometimes to, you know, the female. I'm still working on getting more male speakers so I can have something for the males as well. But this site is for everyone. I don't think it has an age limit on it. I don't think it's just for women or for men. I think it's just for everyone, young and old, man and woman. You know, I just think it's for everyone because we all go through stuff. Even as young people, as teenagers, we might not think that they go through anything, but they go through a lot. And what I went through as a teenager seemed like a cakewalk compared to what, you know, like my daughter who's 15 goes through now. And I mean, you know, and sometimes to hear her struggles and worries, and it's like, wow, I never knew that, you know, it's just rough. So that's why I think it's a site for everyone. When you start to think of suicide and how that affects people, it affects everybody. It doesn't just affect the young. It affects the old. It affects man. It affects woman. And so, you know, that's why it's important to encourage one another and to let people know that you're not alone. And that's one of the reasons why this site is here. And the other is just, I take you through that journey. I use myself as the example. Sometimes I do something, it's okay. Other times I may talk about something where it's just not okay. It's not okay behavior, you know. And so instead of picking on other people, I pick on myself. I pick on myself a lot, but it's okay. But I just wanted to, you know, put that shout out about Symphony Reads, and thank you so much for, you know, reaching out. That was a blessing, and it means so much to me. It just means so much to me when that happens. So don't ever be afraid. If you see my van out in the area, the DMV area, just to say, oh, I know you, hi. Because I'm going to say hi. I might even give you a bumper sticker. So, yeah. I'm a little silly, so please forgive me today. But I wanted to go over, like I said, I was talking about money. And, you know, we've been learning about finances in church and the benefits of money. And it got me thinking on the other end when we talk about money and how money can be evil, you know. And I go, well, if we need money, I don't understand how now money can be evil. And then I started thinking back in my life and really started reading the passages about money. And one in particular that struck out to me, and I think I really read the words, all of them, for the first time. It says, the Bible warns us to keep free from the love of money. Not that we shouldn't have money. So no, that's the passage was, the Bible warns us to keep from the love of money. That's coming from Hebrews 13. My note was, it doesn't say we shouldn't have money. We're talking about the love. We're talking a consumption of money, where money is your center. It's your universe. It's what drives you in the morning. It's what probably sometimes keep you up at night. You do some really, drastic things sometimes just to obtain money. We'll lose sleep just to obtain money. And so I was like, wow, it's not talking about money, because we need money to buy food. Okay? We need money to pay our debt. Our taxes. All of this is, what money does. The clothes on our back. You need to purchase those. Unless even if you make your own clothes, you got to buy the material. So, that's when I was like, well, we have to have some level of money. But it's not talking about or warning us about money. It's the love of money. It's the love of money. So it warns us not to wear ourselves out trying to get rich. We have this notion that if we work, somehow we're going to just get rich. And it's a work that I want to say sometimes a get quick scheme work that we will do to get a level of money. Some people would do that in the means of, some illegal activity, because they see that the money flows through a lot faster than just working a 9-to-5. And, some people would literally, do the, I don't want to say pyramids, but the, like the Amway, which is a good product. But the Amways and, the hierarchy of that and other things like that, the travel business. And it's like it works for some people, but it doesn't work for everyone. And, but people would try these things, get themselves into a different level of debt in the hopes of getting rich. Some people, they spend their savings or they spend a large amount of money in the casinos in the hopes that they're going to hit and get rich overnight. And these are the love of money. These are the things that we are warned against doing. We have to really look at that we shouldn't tire ourselves out trying to get rich. So, it's nothing wrong with having money, but it's how we look at it. And in my own life, I've noticed there were times when I would eat, sleep, and drink with all thoughts of how to get money legally. Just so you'll know. It's like, oh, well, if I work 2 jobs, this one right here will pay the bills. But this one is like my side money. And, and I can do this, and get all of this. Then when I did get that high-paying job that was paying me very well, and, it's like it went to my head. And then it was like I just got consumed sometimes with money, where God stopped being my focus point. And it became like how to get money. Well, if I just do this job at night, I only need 3 hours of sleep. I'm going to do this job at night. I'm going to work during the day. I'm going to, all of this stuff, because I don't need that much sleep just so I can make this money. I was tiring myself out. I was wearing myself out trying to make money and to have more than what I had. And when I got more money, it wasn't enough So I'm out there still trying to push and hustle for more money. More money. And I was never satisfied with what I was getting. And I was blessed. Make no mistake about that. But I was never satisfied. I was consumed about it. So, and that comes from Proverbs 23:4, when it says that it warns us not to wear ourselves out trying to get rich, trying to get that quick money. So the love of money, like I said, is just about being consumed with trying to get rich. And what happens when you are consumed by it, and sometimes we don't even see that we are consumed by the money. We're like, oh, that's not my master. That's not what drives me. But if I really saw back in my life, I was driven for a while by money. I allowed money to become my master. But what happens when you start all of these schemes and all of these things trying to get rich quick, trying to gain a lot of money, an abundance of money very quickly, you can fall into temptations that will take you down some roads that you would think, I would never go down that road. Never in a million years go down that road. But because you're not thinking the consequence of it, or, oh, I'm strong enough, I got this. It's all about the money. So we're not paying attention to the other warning signs, the other temptations that come along with trying to get this money. You understand what I'm saying? It's like sometimes being so consumed with wanting money like that, the love of it, that's your heart, that's your passion, that's just, what drives you. That's the love of money. It's like opening Pandora's box. And I've always told people, I've told my children this all the time. I tell my godchildren all the time. Opening Pandora's box is easy to open, but it could take a lifetime and a lot of energy trying to close that box. Because once it's open, it just seems simple, and it seems like, oh, there's nothing wrong. Oh, it's, but then you're down this rabbit hole that you can't get out. You're down this rabbit hole that you can't navigate back out. And then by the time you're like way in the middle of Pandora's box or in the rabbit hole, it's like, okay, what have I got? It's like the fog or something can come off your eyes. What have I gotten myself into? And now you're trying to fight your way back out of what we put ourselves in, because we had blinders on, and our thought was money. And it was like money was here in front of you. God was maybe on the outside of it, because in the Bible it says that we should work and we should work for money. You will get money. You will get paid. But it never talks about, and it always warns us about the love of it, where it just consumes you. And, like I mentioned before, the Bible tells us in Matthew 6:24 that we cannot have two masters. We can't. It doesn't work that way. You'll either hate one and love the other, or you will be devoted to one and despise the other. Okay? So when I said that's really harsh language, because I never saw myself as not loving God, even when I was in this pursuit, trying to, get as much money as I could. I never saw myself as not loving God. But I will say, because I was so focused on this fact that God went to the wayside, to the side distance. So I was never showing my love for God. I was never showing my appreciation for God, because I was too focused on, okay, how can I, make some money and make it quickly and, and be done. So I won't say that I hated him, but I will say I never showed my love for him. I never, at that point, was making him first, because I would wake up thinking of how I can make money, and I would go to bed thinking of how I can make money. So there was no attention to God at that time in my life. No attention. I wasn't praying. I wasn't thanking him. I wasn't praising him. Wasn't giving him his due. And that's the other thing. I'm up here trying to get all this money, making all this money. At some point, I was making all this money and wouldn't even pay my tithes. It's like I forgot. It's like, again, not showing God his due. And it's just like I became another person. Thankfully, because God loves me and showed mercy upon me and his grace fell upon me, I would tell you this, I'm not there anymore. And that's a blessing for me. So I allowed money to be my master. I chose it as my master because it became what I was consumed by for a while. It's like I got stupid when I got more money. And I mean that just the way I said that. It's like the more money I got, the stupider I got. I don't even know how else to say it. But I mean, just the stupider I got. And just not even thinking. And then in closing, I've learned in just looking at money, and it's nothing wrong with having money, but I have to really focus not to let it drive me so much to the point where it becomes my master. It becomes my first love. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to take that harsh stance like it does in Matthew 5:30, where I'll just pluck out my eye. And I don't really pluck out your eye, people. It's a harsh stance, meaning I will do everything in my being to deny that action. And in order to deny that action, I have to rely on God. You know what I'm saying? And I have to rely on him. I have to rely on him. I have to keep him first. And, you know, when I find myself getting weaker in that stance where it's just like I'm being pulled, I have to choose. That's my cross. That's on my cross daily. I'm going to choose not to go down that rabbit hole again, because I know what happens when I was there the first time. I just see it getting worse a second, third, fourth, fifth time. You know, so that becomes a thing that I put on my cross. That is something I have to die to on a daily basis. And when you die into something on your cross that you carry every day, that's a struggle to keep it on that cross. It's a choice. It's a choice, and it's a struggle. So just, you know, that's the hard stand I'm taking. I'm going to do everything I know how, and I'm going to rely on the one that I know who can help me with it. And that's God. So it's nothing wrong with money, because we do need money. You work, you should get paid. Nothing wrong with it. It's that when you're driven by it. You know, it's when you're driven by it. So that's all I have for you today. I hope that this was a blessing for you. And it was definitely a blessing for me. And I can't wait to see you next time. Have a good one.